I didn't find a lipstick stain or a stray hair. I found a second life, a whole calculated parallel existence that made my 5-year marriage look like a cheap rehearsal. It's my 5th wedding anniversary, and instead of a romantic dinner at the steakhouse we booked months ago, I'm standing in a humid Target parking lot. I'm watching my loyal husband, Mark, lift a giggling toddler into a car seat while a woman who isn't me kisses him with a level of intimacy that made my blood turn into liquid nitrogen. My heart didn't just break. It calcified. It turned into a cold, sharp weapon. I watched them for 10 minutes. 10 minutes of Mark being the perfect dad. He adjusted the sunshade. He wiped the kid's face. He looked at this woman, Sheila, with a look of pure adoration he hadn't given me since our honeymoon. And the worst part, he was wearing the silver watch I gave him this morning as an anniversary gift. He was literally using my love to keep time for his betrayal. I didn't wait. I didn't call a friend to cry. I didn't gather more evidence for weeks, like a victim in a sad movie. I've spent 5 years building a life with this man. I've paid his student loans. I've supported his late nights at the office. I wasn't going to spend another 5 seconds being a pawn in his disgusting game. I put my car in drive, floored the accelerator, and screeched to a halt inches from their rear bumper. The sound of burning rubber echoed across the lot. Mark froze. His hand was still on the car door. Sheila looked up, confused, shielding her eyes from the sun. I rolled down my window, leaned out, and flashed my wedding ring in the sunlight. "Mark, honey, you forgot the anniversary gift at home," I shouted, my voice dripping with lethal sarcasm. "But I see you already got yourself a whole new family. Is this where our mortgage money has been going? On diapers and a mistress?" The color drained from his face so fast I thought he'd hit the pavement. He looked like a ghost that had just seen its own funeral. Sheila looked at Mark, then at me, then at the world's best dad keychain dangling from his ignition. The explosion was instant. "Wife!" Sheila screamed, her voice hitting a pitch that made the toddler start wailing. "You told me you were a traveling consultant. You told me you were divorced 3 years ago. You said your ex-wife was a drug addict in Seattle." Mark started stammering, his hands shaking as he tried to gaslight both of us simultaneously. "Sarah, please, it's not what it looks like. Sheila, she's unstable. She's an obsessed stalker from my old job. I have a restraining order." I laughed. It was a manic, terrifying sound that silenced the crying kid. I pulled out my phone and hit play on our wedding video from 5 years ago. I turned the volume to maximum and held it out the window. "Does this look like a stalker, Sheila? Or does it look like the woman who worked 2 jobs so he could finish his degree while he was busy consulting with you?" The parking lot turned into a suburban war zone. Sheila didn't just get mad, she went feral. She grabbed a carton of eggs from her Target bag and started hurling them at him. "You lied about your name. You lied about the kid's birthday. You used me." Eggs were shattering against his forehead, yellow yolk dripping down his $500 suit. I just sat there, phone in hand, recording every single second of his pathetic humiliation for my lawyer. But the meat of the story was just beginning. As Mark was dodging a flying bottle of organic orange juice, his phone tumbled out of his pocket and skidded across the asphalt. Sheila snatched it up before he could move. She knew his passcode. Why? Because the coward had set it to the toddler's birthday to keep his dad persona consistent. She scrolled for exactly 10 seconds before her face went from red to a deathly, sickening white. She walked over to my car and shoved the screen in my face. "It's not just me, Sarah. Look at what your husband does in his spare time." My stomach did a somersault. It wasn't just Sheila. There was a hidden folder, an encrypted group chat titled "The Weekend Rotation." I scrolled through it with trembling fingers. There were 4 other women. 4. He had a literal schedule, a spreadsheet. He had categorized them by vibe, financial status, and availability. He wasn't just a cheater, he was a professional predator. He had a woman for when he was on business in Chicago. He had a girl for late nights at the gym. He was running a franchise of infidelity. Mark realized the game was over. The nice guy mask didn't just slip, it shattered into 1,000 jagged pieces. He stopped apologizing. He stopped crying. He straightened his egg-stained jacket and looked at me with a look of pure, unadulterated venom. "Yeah? So what, Sarah?" he spat, stepping toward my car. "You were always too busy with your career. You were boring. You wanted to talk about feelings and the future. Sheila and the others. They actually make me feel like a man. They don't ask questions. They don't nag. You're just a paycheck and a clean house to me." The silence that followed was heavy. I looked at this man, this stranger, and felt nothing but a cold, clinical urge to destroy him. I didn't cry. I didn't scream. I simply smiled. It was the kind of smile that makes people check if their doors are locked. "I'm so glad they make you feel like a man, Mark," I said softly, "because as of 10 minutes ago, while I was watching you kiss her, I used my phone to drain the joint savings account. Every cent. The house? It's in my name, remember? My parents gave us the down payment as a gift to me. I've already called the locksmith. Your designer clothes? They're currently being introduced to the backyard sprinklers." Mark's eyes widened. "You can't do that. That's my money too." "Is it?" I tilted my head. "Because I also sent a BCC email to your boss. You know, the one who values family integrity above all else. I attached the screenshots of the weekend rotation, including the messages you sent to his daughter last month. Yeah, Mark, I saw that too." Mark's face went from anger to pure, paralyzed terror. He tried to lung for my car door, but I was already rolling up the window. "Since you love this new family so much, I hope Sheila's couch is comfortable. Oh, and Sheila, before you take him back, you should know. He told me last week he was getting a vasectomy because he secretly hates kids, and yours was a mistake. Good luck with that." I floored it. I left him standing in a puddle of orange juice, broken eggs, and the wreckage of his own lies. The last thing I saw in my rear-view mirror was Sheila delivering a high-heeled kick to his shin while he tried to explain that the boss's daughter meant nothing. I'm sitting in a high-end hotel room now. I have a glass of the most expensive bourbon from the minibar in one hand and my divorce attorney's contract in the other. My phone is blowing up. Mark is begging. He's crying. He's threatening to end it all. Then he's blaming me again. But then a new notification popped up. It was an email from his HR department. Immediate termination of contract. He didn't just lose a wife today. He lost his home, his reputation, his career, and his rotation. He thought he was playing a game. He thought he was the smartest man in the room. But he forgot one thing. I'm a professional auditor. My entire job is finding things people try to hide. And Mark, he was the easiest audit of my life. The sun is setting on our 5th anniversary. And honestly, this is the best gift I've ever given myself. The perfect husband is gone, and in his place is a woman who finally knows her worth and exactly how much it costs to burn a traitor's world to the ground.